How would you like an idea that your family member that has been captured by the enemy is being drafted into enemy's army and then sent to the battlefield to kill you? Amazing cynicism, is it not?
The Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Ukraine expresses a strong protest with regard to the forced mobilization of Ukrainian citizens to the Russian armed forces, which is carried out by the Russian Federation in the temporarily occupied territories of Ukraine. The Autonomous Republic of Crimea and the city of Sevastopol, parts of the Donetsk, Luhansk, Zaporizhia and Kherson regions, in the framework of the so-called Autumn Draft. By carrying out the so-called conscription in these territories, the Russian Federation grossly violates its international legal obligations, in particular under the Fourth Geneva Convention relative to the protection of the civilian persons in time of war, according to which the occupying power is prohibited to force people to serve in its armed or auxiliary forces, as well as to exert pressure and spreading propaganda in favor of voluntary enlistment to the army, from the statement of the MFA of Ukraine.
According to a decree signed by Russian dictator Putin on September 30th, Russia is planning to draft 133,000 Russians between October and January. Men aged from 18 to 30 will be drafted as part of the regular fall conscription campaign. The decree applies to Russians who are not in the reserve and are subject to military service. But the thing is, this time the fall 2023 conscription campaign includes the illegally annexed areas of Luhansk, Donetsk, Kherson and Zaporizhia oblasts of Ukraine. Evading the draft has been relatively easy in Russia until now. All those wanted to avoid military service needed to do just one thing: to avoid receiving a paper draft notice at all cost. One option was to move out of your declared address without letting the authorities know, an actual one, so that the notice couldn't be delivered. Now these new laws in Russia close that loophole, as the draft notice will be considered served a week after it has been posted online on a government website. Yes, as simple as that. Whether you got it or not, you are drafted anyway. Moscow was never able to stop young people who feared being drafted leaving Mother Russia in large numbers. Some sources report of 700,000 people leaving in September 2022 alone. But with the war in Ukraine continuing, Moscow intends to prevent the exodus of new cannon fodder. And to do so, Russian Tsar this time wants Ukrainians on TOC of Ukraine to be drafted to his criminal army and sent to battlefield, as nothing in the world Russian Tsar would love to see more than a Ukrainian killing a Ukrainian.